Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another Fit Pro Daily guest interview. Today we have another returning guest. Good morning, Kellen. How are things?
Things are great, man. Thanks for having me back. It was really fun last time. So I was excited when Willow contacted me and asked if I was able to do this again.
Nice. Yeah, last time I literally stood here like, wow, okay, wow, because it was a story that people just never think of, like of your journey to where you are now. So I know that episode was like, I don't know, half an hour. Is it possible you could condense that into a 2-minute segment for anybody that hasn't seen the last episode?
Boom. Yeah. 2 minutes. Game on. We'll do it. Okay. Setting the timer. So basically, real short, I am from America originally, lived in Montana. I moved to Brazil when I was 10. My parents were missionaries down there. And then from 10 to 18, lived in Brazil. I speak Portuguese, played soccer, came back to the States, and I played, ironically enough, American football. Got a scholarship to play and graduated with a degree in physical education, K through 12. I then went and taught English in South Korea. For a year, I met my wife. It's a tattoo ring. Her name is Beth. It's spelled in Korean. My name's Kellen. It's at the bottom. And then we came back to the States, and I decided I was going to go into the military. I went through officer candidate school with the Marines. Best, worst experience of my life. Very formative. Then they're like, hey, Kellen, we want you to be a Navy chaplain. You need to get a master's degree. 98 credit hours later, I had a master's degree in counseling and theology. But after 3.5 years of that, I did not want to be a Navy chaplain anymore. So I became an assistant principal and athletic director at a charter school. I did that for 5 years, training people on the side. And then it was just burning. I was just wore out, tons of time, not making much money. So I opened up a training studio in my garage, personal training studio. And long story short, I did that in 2017. It has grown to where we do over $240,000. Last year we did over $240,000 gross. Net profits were well above 50%. And it's kind of where we are right now. And now I do a little bit of online stuff too.
Nice. Yeah, and you're helping some people with their sales and stuff as well. Did you mention?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I do sales for a big Instagram account too, actually, for online coaching as well. That is correct.
Nice, yeah, and it kind of just show that, yeah, in life you might have this grand plan, you want to go in this direction, but you're often getting pulled and pushed and moved into different things that you just didn't even think was even possible.
100%. And I think that's really the evolution of not only like for yourself, you probably just were like, if I can just have a successful gym, I will be at peace and content and I can sleep. I'll just be able to provide for my family, which is awesome. And like that should probably where I started when I first was as well. But as you grow and you learn more, you just keep evolving. And I think that entrepreneur spirit, that desire to provide more for your clients, to provide more for yourself, it's just something that's inside of us. And it's like having a zombie virus and you just can't get rid of it. You're just going to go and infect others and just keep growing and growing and growing. And that's definitely how it has been for me. Because shoot, like now I'm even entertaining the idea of maybe not transitioning, still doing what I'm doing, but doing like a life coach thing. Because now I have all these real affluent clients who are like, man, when you send out your emails, like it's better than the life coach I have. And I was like, what, you have a life coach? How much you paying the life coach? And I'm like, I mean, this is not what I say, but I'm like, what? You're paying the life coach 10 grand a year and you think I'm providing more value than they are? So anyway, food for thought. Life coaching, who knew?
But no, that kind of starts even when you're a child. I just thinking back then, your parents say you need to go to bed at 6 p.m. or something, and you're just like, oh, just 5 more minutes, please. And then before you know it, a couple of months down the line, you're now going to bed at 6:30, and then you're another push another 5 more minutes, and now it's 7 p.m. And I think we're all in tune to be always wanting to progress. We always want to find that next step. We either want to get a little bit quicker or earn a little bit more money or get there a little bit faster or get to that next level. It's like the games we play on our phones or computers or whatever. We always want to progress. And I'm guessing that's where this or today's topic kind of kind of puts that huge spanner in the works. Like you said, all of us kind of initially wanted to have a nice studio, a nice fitness business that could pay our rent, pay for the car, pay for a nice life, have a really easy life. But we want to keep progressing. But now when we keep progressing, we have the so-called fakes in the industry. So just quickly, what is the fakes in the industry?
So like with the fakes in the industry, at least for me, there's a couple. And one of them, I believe that is disingenuous at large. And I don't want to insult anybody or call anybody out. But when it comes to network marketing or direct sales, there is a giant company, at least where I'm at. And I won't name it, but basically you buy pre-made packaged foods. Okay. And you get a health coach and this pre-packaged food that's largely soy. And in my opinion, it's not beneficial for you at all. It comes out to be less than 1,000 calories a day, and you pay $400, $500 a month. Eat this food and you magically lose weight. And then, hey, if you become on my supply chain, you can, reap all these benefits. And these people contact me, honestly, almost on the daily. Okay. And what is tempting on my end is, you know what? I could sell that and I can make a lot of money and my clients would lose weight. However, morally and ethically, it's disingenuous for me to get someone to do something that I think would ultimately hurt them and not behoove them just because I want to make a quick buck. Okay. And I feel that it is one, as like when you're first starting out, or even when you're established, that is very, very tempting, especially as you become, your reputation grows, you become more affluent. You can tell them to run through a brick wall at one point, once you've kind of arrived, and they're going to stink and do it. And so it would be an easy way to add revenue, but I just think it sickens me that people just keep doing this. And here's the thing, here's something that's crazy, David. The top producer in my area in Winston-Salem, guess where she trains and guess what she doesn't eat. She trains at she's like, hey, full disclosure, before I come here, I need to tell you who I am, what I do, and how I make my money, and just make sure this will work. She's like, I know you don't believe in anything that I do in the sense of this, but it makes me tons of money. I can't eat this way. You need to keep it quiet, but can I come train at your location? And can I use your guys' nutrition systems? And I was like, yes, of course, I'm not going to say no. But that was 4 months ago. And that really, I was like, see, if one of their top producers is only doing it for the money and they can't follow this system, then there's something up. But that's one example.
It is a tough one, especially like you said, if you're just getting started. It's like someone's dangling this get-rich-quick scheme in front of you. You've spent 2, 3, 4 months getting qualified as a fit pro with all the qualifications to be the best version of yourself, to help people in a specific way. And someone's just said, scrap all that. Here's a really quick way of getting people results. Plus you're going to earn a load of money. There has to be the quotation marks there. Come and join it. It must be quite a strong appeal for some people when they're just getting started.
Yeah. And I see, like with the new PTs I bring on, because I love that because I skipped the get quick money part. Here's the thing, that people who do launch into that, what I have seen and witnessed is those who actually do become successful, it basically becomes a full-time job. They're going to networking events. They're stinking on Zoom all the time, doing their promotional stuff. So it's not quick money. You really have to work, and they're going to say quick to you and preach it all day long. It's easy money. But guess what? Once you get in and you're not getting the results you're supposed to be getting, well, you're just not putting in the time. Are you going out and you're talking to friends and family? Are you cold DMing all these people? All this stuff that you don't want to do, they never told you about until you buy in, right? And that's also where it's disingenuous. They say this quick money, but really, if that's what you want to do, and that's fine, you really want to be successful, it's a full-time job. You're going to have to lay down for most people's cases, unless you're super established, you're going to have to lay down your training business, or at least put it to the side so you can go full board. And I promise you, they will challenge you to do that if they are, quote unquote, a good coach.
And I think the tough thing is as well, when you're buying into somebody else's stuff or you're moving into this type of stuff, they have the power to turn that switch off. if you've just kind of abandoned the fitness business and clients that you were really starting to build up to move into this quick rich scheme, and they just say, you know what, you're not doing enough in your area, we're giving it to someone else. They've just turned the switch off and you've almost got to start all over again. I guess, and that's why people say these days you need to build that email list. Facebook can turn your account off like that, but no one can ever delete your email list.
Yes. No, that's so true. The email lists, and I could not agree more with that statement, because I mean, I don't know what it's like in the UK. I imagine it's the same stuff, but people, for whatever reason, you can say something and you can be deactivated. You can get put in the dark, all these different terms and whatever, and you're done. So I had a client, her name is Willow. Well, that's what she goes by. She's a model. And, so when she first started with me, her ex-boyfriend at the time had access to her account. He was like her manager, and they got into a fight, broke up, and he deleted her Instagram account. And she had over 150,000 people on it. Okay. And so she had to start from scratch again. Now, fast forward, I think it's been almost a year and a half. She's at like 102 or so. She's grown it, but imagine like where she had been if that never happened. And if she'd had those people on an email list, like homeboy, chances are wouldn't have access, I hope, to her email list. But anyway, valid point. But, and then I guess the other thing I think when I think of fakes is like the gurus, the fitness gurus who are always hitting up personal like, do you get hit up by these people? I'm sure.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, I see you're a fit pro. Do you need help with your marketing? I was like, oh, I actually run the marketing company. Do you need help with your marketing?
Because obviously you condemning me isn't a solid outreach strategy. But so like with there, I've hired and used really, really awesome business coaches, and I had some really, really terrible business coaches. And I think one of the best groups, and I don't know if you're a part of it or not, and I don't know the insides and outs of it, but AJ there's a group, Fit Pro Reviews, I think is what it's called on Facebook. And you're not?
No, because of what we do, we might have too much influence if you're part of the group. So that's the good thing about it. He's doing this on an ethically and the genuine reason he's doing it. So there is total review.
Because you get like your name comes up a lot in there.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah. No, in a good way. So I just assumed you were in it. Well, cool. So what I was saying by that is like, if you are and I wish I'd had this resource when I first started, because I definitely threw out a chunk of change to complete people who were trash. And if I would have been in that group, you can review it and actually get like legit, like actual business owners, PT saying it's good, it's bad. But you can go there and you can type in, David Kyle, marketing, who's used him, experience, pros and cons, and people will leave honest reviews, and you can read past stuff. And that's been extremely helpful. And it really weeds out like the chaff, the people who are just in there to make a quick buck. It comes out really fast. And the people who are legit, who have been established. So those are also some words of wisdom, I think, that I wish someone had told me, especially at the beginning. But ultimately, go ahead.
I think one of the things I got told a long time ago was, if you're ever going to reach out to a new mentor or anything in this kind of bracket, go back to their past, have a look what they have done, have a look at how long they've been doing this stuff. Try not to see if they've suddenly just got a qualification during the summer holidays, and then now they've just finished school, they've got this qualification, and now they're a Facebook ads expert or they're a marketing expert. Go back and have a look at their track record, see what stuff they've done previously, who they've managed to help. Interview or ask those people how they got on, so you can make sure that if you're reaching out to me or anybody else, you have a good idea of if it's going to be successful, or if you're absolutely going to flop big time because you haven't put the effort in to do the research to make sure this is the right thing for you either.
Or if the course or whatever they're doing is actually something that you need. Because I have done a course, and I assumed it was like a mastermind and it was a marketive intensing course. And I was like, I already have most of this stuff. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So yes, research is very good. Don't be impulsive like me. Follow what David just said. And ultimately,
carry on.
But ultimately, I think what it comes down to, David, is especially when you're providing a service, like training and whatnot, is it comes down to the experience that you give your clients. Okay. Whether that, like, so you don't need the supplements. You don't need I opened it out of my garage, and what a story I want to tell to illustrate this is, so in this, and I assumed, like, so WWE Raw, when I was in Korea, my kids were into WWE Raw, the wrestling. I have an 8-year-old, his name is Axel. Okay. And I took him to WWE Raw in Greensboro for the first time. Up to this point, he's never really interacted with except on TV a little bit. I took him to this. We were there for 3 hours. I was about ready to die. My knees hurt. But anyway, it's loud. But anyway, so here we go. We're coming back, and I'm holding him by the hand. There's all kinds of people. I go, Axel, how was it? And he's holding my hand. He lets go of my hand, and he stops. He puts his hands on his hips, and he turns his head down. He goes, Dad, he raises his eyes. I think that was the best experience of my life. And I try not to laugh, because, like, he was really serious. And you don't say wrestling, you say the fights were awesome. He says the fights. And so I tell that story to illustrate, if you can have your client even get a 10th to feel the way that Axel felt, guess what? They are coming back again and again and again, and they're going to tell their friends about you, about the experience they had. And, the results, they may come, they may not. But the big thing is if you can have someone feel like that from an emotional standpoint, like, wow, I feel better for coming. I feel proud of myself. I did X, Y, or Z. Then you become a narcotic. And going back to my zombie analogy, like, you become, the Dracula. You've just infected them, and they're going to go out and infect other people. Okay. Yeah. And they come, and it just becomes contagious. And I think a lot of times people really overlook that. So, like, when I'm hiring trainers or for people to do the coaching for me in my stead, the credentials and stuff, yeah, it's kind of important. But really, I like to look for I call sticky trainers, because sticky trainers are like a narcotic. Okay. They make people feel better. They make the experience good, and it activates our dopamine and serotonin levels. And when people feel good after they work out, like, whenever we feel positive and good, guess what? That's an experience we consciously and subconsciously want to repeat. And so if you have, and you can provide a service like that, you're going to be golden. The hardest part is just going to be needing David to get people into your program.
I've got a funny story about that then. Okay. So back in the day, I used to run a football coaching business for kids. So it was 18 months to 6-year-olds. In summer holidays, we'd do kids for all ages in school. So they would come for the summer holiday course and stuff. And then you do the games, you do some passing, you do some skills, you do some all type of stuff. But at the end, the last half an hour, you focused on what would make them want to come back. Either having lots of shots and scoring loads of goals, or having a game. Because then they're going to go home having celebrated, scored loads of goals, had the best time ever. And it was just for that last half an hour segment. And they're telling their parents, it was the best thing ever. I want to go back. I need to come back. And so that's the session. It's the key. These are key elements to it. Yeah.
That is genius. That is pure gold. You have so the last 30 minutes, you have all these kids thinking they're Beckham and hold on G, and they're just going off. That's genius. I love that.
But like you say, it's the experience. It's what makes people come back. And one of the big things we work on a lot at my studio specifically is the very small things that you don't even consider. Yeah, they had a great session. They're making their friends and all this type of stuff. But if they notice a cobweb in the top corner out of their eye, that kind of does stick in their mind a little bit. Or they're walking down through the car park and there's a bit of rubbish on the floor. It might not even be your rubbish, it's blown from somewhere else. That just sticks in their mind a little bit. So sometimes, I don't know, it's good to almost get away from your business, come away, come back in, and you'll see all this stuff that you've just been blindsided to will make such a huge difference to the client experience.
You know, that is so true. That removing, I mean, assuming you're able to do that, that is so true. So like I hadn't been in my brick and mortar for, I don't know, maybe 2 months or something crazy like that. Um, and I went back the other day, and so like I have a cleaning lady, and she does a great job, but like on the outside there was some, like, it's what you would call rubbish, and I was like, what's this crap? And I was like walking out, I was like, man, we need to like clean this stuff up, because I was like, it's not terrible, it wasn't bad, but it was like seeing it with fresh eyes again. I was like, okay, we need to sit down and kind of iron some stuff out, because we gotten comfortable. Like, stuff's been easy and we got comfortable, and some of the things that we used to do with excellence and really, really well have kind of slid a little bit. So actually you nailed it with that.
So let me ask you something then. So you've got your own studio, things were going well, but imagine when you were just first couple of months in, you've got 20, 30 clients, you're working really hard, you're doing all the right marketing, you're training your guys, you're providing the best nutrition, the best mindset coach, all this type of great stuff to get them the results. And then there's this one person on Facebook shouting about this product that they're selling that's going to get them amazing results in literally 5 days if they take the supplement. How were you mentally supposed to battle against what this opposition is almost doing?
Yeah, no, that is a great question. Because cognitively, it's really easy to be like, well, I know that's crap. I know it really doesn't work. And like, but from an emotional standpoint, at least me, you get jealous, you get upset, and you get maybe even a little bit angry, because you're like, here I am busting my butt, providing real value to people, something that's going to stick and it's going to last. And here is this person who's just trying to make a quick buck off of this product that is grotesquely overpriced, that someone could buy from GNC or the vitamin shop for, at least half the price, the exact same product. Instead, they're going to buy it from this person because they have a relationship with that person, which I would question whether that's really ethical or not. This person's going to sell it to them just for $1. And then, they're going to talk about how awesome this product was, because, when you take this product, also, you need to eat only protein and vegetables. But the product is what's going to get you to lose weight. And so it's cognitively, it's easy to preach that to yourself, but from an emotional standpoint, at least for me, it was like, I got angry. I was jealous. I was like, well, screw it. Maybe I should just go sell these stupid supplements too, since everybody's going to buy them. And then I don't know how many times I was like on the verge of signing my soul away to start like a network marketing, because I think I'd be pretty good at it. But then at the end of the day, I could never do it, because I was like, I would feel like a complete scumbag, because I just don't believe in this product. I think it's basically expensive urine. They're paying me they pay this person hundreds of dollars for expensive urine, or worst case. And I know. So like, they're like, hey, what's the best protein? I bought this protein from X, we'll just say, I don't know. Well, I won't mention names because some people probably use it, but this X company. And I was like, and it's like $100 a month for this protein, and it lasts me a month. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, you can use what you want, but if you go to like GNC or Costco or wherever, you can get said product and it's $50. It's twice as much. And now it doesn't have this extra crap either. Oh, really? Yeah. So I knew even if I tried to sell whatever this other product was, I'd end up like copping out, because I'd feel so bad and tell them to go get it at half the price and a better product at X, Y, and Z. But
okay, so we're in this battle now between this person who's showing off all the results, no real effort needed to go into it, and you're trying to hold your own with your studio, with your clients, with all the hard work and determination. And you've got this consultation. Somebody's coming in now to chat about your services, and they've mentioned, no, you know what? I've been talking to this person. They say, take one of these a day, and you're going to lose 4 stone in about a week. How do you manage to sell without like slagging this company off, bad mouthing this company? What is the right way to overcome this? Because I'm guessing a lot of people have to battle through these type of conversations.
Yeah. And that's a really good question. And so, and different people take different approaches here, I think, but I think what you said is important in the sense is that I never badmouth the companies, and honestly, I wouldn't address what they did or didn't do. I just focused on what we did. And it goes back to providing a good experience. So the way that I do consults and sales are from a prescriptive methodology, meaning I'm the content expert, I'm the doctor, if you will. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to see where you're at, what your needs are. More importantly, I'm really going to dive into their why. And I know you hear that probably from a lot of different people and be, hey, you need to make sure you get to their why. But in my experience, most people in a consult or in a sales area don't do that part very well. Okay. But I figure out essentially where they're at and then what they need, but then the most important, why they want to change. Okay. Really, why do they want to change? And there's a book called Never Split the Difference. Okay. And then there's also a book called Sales EQ. And I would say should be a required reading for anybody who's doing consults or sales in the fitness industry. Never split the difference. And what I really like about and you can get these on Amazon. I would do one of them you actually need to read because it's a lot, but Never Split the Difference. I would say I'd be very comfortable saying get that on audiobook and listen to it. What the role is with that book is the guy who wrote it was an FBI international terrorist hostage negotiator. Okay. And so he was in very, very dire situations. And what he does is it's story formatted. He's like, okay, this is what I want you to learn. Here's a story when I actually had to apply it and either screwed it up or did it well. And this is how you can apply it in a sales scenario or in X, Y, and Z. Very, very good, fun listen and very pragmatic. Okay. And then emotional EQ or sales EQ. There's two different books. Read Sales EQ or both if you have the time. That one I'd say you actually need to read. But in there, they really go in to a pragmatic, but the psychology of why people buy. Okay. And what stirs people to buy and how to get people in that emotional state. Because most of the time, more information isn't necessarily what's going to sell people. Like, to be honest, David, what's crazy is after reading that book and using this new sales script that I created based off of that, 9 times out of 10, when I sell someone into my program, and I don't want to say like we provide a good service, they don't know any of the deliverables, how often I'm coming in, what my nutrition looks like, what the training's like. All they know is, wow, Kellen heard me. He said he could help me. These are my problems. This is how you do a super. So you get people into an emotional state so that you are the solution. And then you talk about the cost. They tell you about the cost of inaction. If I don't do X, Y, or Z, I'm not going to get I'm those big clothes in the back of my closet. They're going to stay there. When I go to the beach, I'm still not going to get in the water and take off my shirt. They verbalize these things. Okay. And that becomes very powerful so that when they do, they buy your program, but 2, they're completely invested in your program. Okay. But anyway, those 2 books, I could not recommend enough.
Nice. Hopefully everyone's got that written down and they can start moving forward with some of those stuffs. Okay, so as we come to a close now, is there any questions you think I've missed? Is there anything maybe that we haven't covered when it comes to beating the fakes? I don't know the best way. Is anything we've missed where to make you stand out and really show and have the passion to keep thriving when you're having to battle against these type of people that you have to come against?
No, I think you actually just answered your own question. And I didn't think about it, but I think to beat the fakes is, I think, authenticity is be true to who you are and what your belief systems are, whether that's carnivore, whether that's plant-based, whether that's macro-based, whatever your system is, whatever you fully believe in, I think is really the key. And that's going to make you different because it's going to be authentic. It's going to show your passion. And you don't have to try to fake sell this stuff. Because ultimately, I don't think, I know if I tried to fake sell it, I think maybe I might be able to fake it for a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I would lay down one night and be like, I just can't do this anymore. And it's way better to be able to put your head down on the pillow at night, feeling proud and content that you are providing a good service, than I think laying there and being like, okay, I screwed X, Y, and Z and I made X amount of money, in my opinion.
No, the two things I'd definitely say is the passion. You have to show your passion, and you also have to answer the questions before they even ask the questions. And that proves to them that you know your stuff, or you know your product inside out, that you have so much confidence that you know everything, that when that question is ready to be asked, you've already either got the answer or you've answered it. So you don't need to ask it because they believe in you so much. Yeah.
Yep.
Kellen, well, I appreciate you coming on today. We'll probably get you on another couple of months. We'll have another fantastic story, I'm guessing, then. But again, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Everybody else for watching and listening, go and get those 2 books that we've just talked about. And yeah, don't worry about them. Focus on your stuff and move forwards from there.
Yep. Perfect. Block them if you have to. I've done that. Yeah. That way you don't get jealous. Exactly. That's just my secret.
Perfect. All right, dude. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
Yes. Man,
bye.